Hi, everyone, and welcome to Dire Bear Adventure Company. It's Monday, which means it is this evening and time for the Troubleshooters. We are on episode 3, if I'm not mistaken. As you can see, the title card has been neatly updated to Colming the Streets. As we left off last week, the party was separated. We had somebody struggling to free an ally using wet pants.
Struggle?
I'm looking at you. There was
Did
a
I
struggle.
struggle? Just a
There
little.
was a struggle, just a little bit. So after the struggle ensued, a new shape was taken, or a new form and identity. Clothes were stripped. We did the old switcheroo with a guard, throwing them off their game, and then absconding with one trapped Gej. They fled to the streets where another skin change was done, and they made their way back to the buckets on the green with some hasty disguise work. Then we had these other two yahoos running down the streets of London, trying to escape, evade, elude their pursuers, doing things like sliding under a table and throwing it in the air, throwing coins on the ground to attract the attention of the people, all in the hopes of evading their pursuers. They got back to Otter's Place, where they found that it was being tossed. A person from the directorate threw a cube. Well, he tried to throw a cube. He got it shot out of his hand. It had exploded around him, casing in this crystalline-like substance. Found out that the people who owned the place where Otter is staying are also trapped in this stuff. They finally decide that we're going to try to do our best to disguise ourselves, stole a motorcycle, drove all the way back to the buckets on the green. Whenever the original two who had escaped the prison got to the buckets on the green, they saw the directorate along with Christoph Anderson, also known as Peter Dietrich, calling the people who chased the other two incompetent, and then said to do what you can to find them. The henchmen all left the area, allowing our parties to once again converge. Welcome to the Troubleshooters. A lot of stuff has happened in the last week, but not really. Let's see. We should have no interruptions in the episodes. We do have more shows this week coming up with Tuesday night with Scion and Thursday night with Ransom, Knight's Ransom, our newest one. But we won't be doing the virtual D&D weekend this week. Excuse me. For the month of May, I won't be doing the virtual D&D weekend. However, Maddie will be running it, so please sign up for her game. She's running a lot of the Candlekeep stuff because it's really neat, but they're also dropping the new Ravenloft stuff because of the expansion for Ravenloft that's coming out, the new book. Let's see. Wow, what else is going on? I'm already looking at Gen Con, which is going to be set for September. I'm trying to see if we can't have a presence there. Also, if anybody works in advertising and needs somebody to help beef their portfolio, I am going to pay. I'm not looking for exposure, but I would like to start talking about advertising Diary Adventure Company a little more broadly than just the word of mouth that we have here. It is great to see all of you and have all of you back. Everybody is with us tonight. However, everybody is not on camera. So please bear with us. Otter is fighting a headache, and so he doesn't want to turn the lights on. It's okay. We hope he gets better soon. And then Voodoo is with us, Gej, but there's some back and forth right now until things get settled. They've got some background stuff that's going on. Nothing to worry about, though. But without further ado, and to answer a question that was asked in the chat, yes, those boons do carry over from last week. I wouldn't rob the party nor the viewers of that. So they still have advantage on a role of their choosing. So basically, like, they all get inspiration. All right. Without further ado, let's begin the Troubleshooters. Welcome back, everybody. The henchmen have just left. Everybody gathers around, although you are all still in disguise. You do have a mode of transportation other than your 2 feet. However, it is not the most inconspicuous thing that you've ever seen at all. So.
And I don't think it's going to carry 4.
Nope, you don't have a sidecar to seat everybody. Sidecar, top car, other sidecar. At that point in time, we'll just get a car.
Nope.
I think we could manage, guys.
We need 2 more sidecars.
I could become small.
You need somebody to ride behind the driver, and then 2 sidecars, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, I'll just stand on like one
I'll-
foot on the peg. Like
You know, yeah, I was just about to say, I'm like, why don't we just all stand on each other's shoulders, just drive on even ground?
Hey, hop, ho, hey, hop, ho, hop.
I feel
Um,
like there's a lot of really risky roles involved
I have
in
some
that
training.
scenario.
Not entirely circus trained, but I am.
I was
trained.
waiting for you to say the circus train line. I'm not circus trained, but all right. Nice throwback to the
see-
previous adventure.
I imagined, the same arrangement of listen, front driving, Moonin and back, and then in a sidecar, Gej, and then Emrys just like all tucked in, like in front of Gej in the sidecar.
I will
Sitting in
become
Gej's
small.
lap.
Yeah, I'll be. Wait, can I become child-sized?
I mean,
Or like
if
close
you
to
cast,
child-sized?
if,
I can't change my like size from medium because I'm human, a medium-sized creature. I can't go to
Yeah.
large, so I can't go to like Goliath sizing. But I
No.
can't be small, so I can't go like goblin gnomes.
so you would not be, then you couldn't be
Can I get-
a human
Can I
child.
get close?
I mean,
Like, what would be the smallest height-wise could I go?
well,
Teenager?
considering dwarves are no, because my 13-year-old is 5'8",
Mm.
but with boots on, but still close enough.
Short teenager.
So Q, when you were a teenager,
Shut the fuck up. I was 5'4" when I was a teenager. I am
so
average
we'll say,
height. For a
so we'll say
Canadian
you can say
lady.
5'4". So we'll say
I'm
5'4".
5'5" now. I am a 28-year-old 5'5". I will put on my 4-inch boots. I swear to God, I will be 5'9" in this instant.
if it helps your feelings, Q, you're still taller than me. I'm only 5'3".
You know what? I can say I'm taller than both my partners, so I'm already living, so it's fine.
I'm just tall.
Shut up, you giant.
Same.
I'm not a giant. I'm only 6'1".
To me, you are. That's almost a whole foot taller.
No. Cap and
I'm
I are the
okay.
same height.
Listen,
Who
I
work
will-
better? Probably hotter, honestly. I look like I'm hunched over from the weight of the world that is constantly just pushing down on me.
Yeah, my grandma's shrinking too. I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, my grandma is so small. My mom's shorter than me. I'll accept it. If I've got to be the tall boy, I'll be the tall boy. That's fine. In my family, at least.
Completely off off the
Well,
rails to begin with.
I will fight
Coming
about that.
coming back to the
Um,
table we're sitting at, what took you guys so long at the library, and why are you in disguise?
He looks
Well-
at Emrys.
Well, you see,
Theon.
Theon. Well, you see, long story short, I didn't kill anybody. So we're okay. We're out though.
Out.
We got taken for questioning, just about like the family, but for me, the big thing is if I go to the washroom and suddenly I need my wrist tied, that's not why we're here.
You're now being detained.
Yeah, we're now being detained. We're now being held. They took my favorite knife. So I gotta get that
Raymond.
back at some point. But either way, we're out. Back-
Okay.
I don't know if the guy, we're not gonna go into that right now.
Sure. We were also
I
chased
mean-
across town, trying to be detained.
Colm escaped.
Oh, and I have a note and a key, which was in a book in the library, but I like tuck it back into a safe spot. I won't read it now. I don't trust it. Not that I don't trust Colm, but
I'll be right back, y'all. I'm sorry.
Guys-
What do you think?
I'd rather not be out in the open.
Gej powers off at the table.
I mean-
Gej just zones out.
He's thinking about my
I-
comment of wet pants and wondering what could it be, because I don't want to talk about it right now.
I can't wait
Bliss would
for
look.
a retelling of that story from Emers's point of view whenever it comes up.
I really don't want to get arrested for it. Those were some really nice clothing.
Bliss would just look at Moonin and look back at who is Emerus but is not Emerus and just go, well, we technically have a farmhouse with people that I'm 99% sure can't hear anything we're saying.
And one directorate associate without a hand who tried to catch us. I also
See,
did
you
not
did
kill
more
somebody.
damage than I did, I think. I didn't remove any limbs.
I
His
didn't
hand is
either.
mostly there.
Yeah.
Do we know
Technically,
how long
I
it's
didn't
going to
remove
last?
his limb. The bullet did.
Do not. I will argue with that. Because I don't think a bullet can aim.
Looking around,
I
or as you
mean, he was
noticed,
coming at.
go ahead.
He was coming after me, so Moonin had no responsibility. It's my fault. I'll maybe heal it. Who knows?
You know, you can both take the blame for each other as much as you like. We're sort of a team. It's everyone's fault at this point.
Either way, where do we go from here? And then
You all notice that it's eerily quiet in the tavern.
Oh! Before we came in, there was arguing outside. Perhaps not staying here longer than we need to would be best.
On that note, I'm going to get up and walk over to the bar and wait for the bartender.
A quiet, timid-looking man wanders over to you. He asks you with a nervous stutter, can I help you?
Sure, I'm here to ask about the daily special.
The lunch special is it's over. We have drink specials. If you would like, I'll serve you and your friends some beer.
I'm just making sure I got my notes right. We were supposed to ask the bartender for the daily special for information?
Yes, you were.
Okay.
This boy, like, we can all see him going up to Moonin. Familiar? Not familiar.
Is he the same bartender as was here last time then? No?
He is not.
Okay.
Moonin, should we wrap it up? Pay the tab and we'll go.
Yeah, send a round of beers to the table. And I'll head back, and we should probably find somewhere to head.
He nods nervously up and down and goes to pour drinks for the group, sets them on a tray, and brings them over to you. And it's when you notice there are 5 glasses there. He quickly sets them onto the table and then doesn't turn and walk away, but he backs away.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does it look like he knew how to pour these beers? Like, do they look like nice beers, or do they look like they're all full of head, basically? Because he has no idea how to pour a beer.
They're not full of head, but they're pretty heady. Yeah. So it looks like he's seen it, but not really practiced it a whole lot.
Okay. As he's backing away, it's just lad, don't. And I'll hold up a coin. Your tip. You don't want to forget that.
His eyes go wide and he flicks them to the door. As you watch him through the door, walks a woman who is about 5'7". She has on work boots and trousers. She has a coat on, but the sleeves are cut out, and you can see she's got a white shirt underneath. It's rolled up to about here, and you can see a yellow band on each arm. She takes her hat off and hangs it and takes the stick that she has, like the walking stick kind of thing, but it's too short for a walking stick. Like if she puts it on the ground, it'd be like down there. But she takes the stick and lays it like across two of the holders on the hat rack there.
It quickly in German, Liz is going to go, pretty sure this is friendly. We might have gotten in trouble with them though.
I know him.
The yellow band was the Rooks?
Rooks.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Just making sure I have it right in my notes. Perfect.
She walks over to you and she moves languidly like a cat, but you can tell that she's powerful. As she walks over to you, she grabs a chair and, like one swift motion, spins it around and pulls it up to your table, takes the 5th beer and slides it over. Are you the ones that have been tearing up my streets there? You have a lot to answer for. But never let it be said that old Hatchet Henny isn't a friend to those in need. And you look like you're in need, especially of a friend.
I'll hold a hand out. We appreciate your help.
Oh, well met then. And she
Moonin.
shakes your hand and it's soft, it's firm. Annie, my friends call me Annie. My enemies call me Hatchet Annie.
So it's just Annie then.
For now, darling, we'll see. You two were a lot of running there down the streets. You've messed up the marketplace. Lovely, didn't you? But at least you paid for it with tossing coins out to the friendlies. Now, who were you hightailing it from?
We're pretty sure it was the directorate, but I'm not 100% sure. We did not stop and ask for names.
Oh, the directorate. Never a lovelier bunch of people to spill blood on soil. So, you've made friends with the directorate. You must have been doing some big wamp 'em up to make sure that they were chasing you down. So, what did you do? Magic you shouldn't have? Cast fire on something that shouldn't have? Froze somebody's bullocks off on accident?
I will look at all my rifles and
Uh-huh.
and firearms
Just
and go,
bristling with firearms and guns.
do I look like I do magic?
Hi. Well, there's a percussive sort of magic there, isn't there? If you work that rifle with a wonder, then it should be magic in itself. Yes, Gedge.
When we were taken in, I know weapons were taken. Was anything else on our person taken? Holy symbols, stuff like that?
No. Those
Okay.
things were left on you.
Cool.
Oh my
He is
God.
fidgeting very anxiously with the bird head.
Oh, relax, love. I've not come to harm you. See an opportunity here. And I just want to know if we're going to be friends or not.
Best way I could word it is there's a new higher up in the directorate that doesn't quite see eye to eye with those we work with, and has done very much to get us out of the way.
Or at
So they
least
thought it'd be
try.
been there. It's as though they weren't trying very hard. And my little ears, my rats on the streets, tell me that they had a little bit of a dust up here. It was the muckety muck in the car said he wasn't too happy with his minions.
I heard there was quite a screaming match outside before we got here.
Heard it all the way down in the row, I did. But we'll not concern ourselves with that. Instead, I can offer you a little bit of assistance here, as long as you'll do right by Annie.
What are you asking for in return, Annie?
If I help you get out of the city, Perhaps it is that you can help me with some of the directorate's words are hard. Other ventures. See, can't tell of it that the directorate's looking for folks who are adept at magic. And them what are showing prospective abilities. They seem to be disappearing. The problem with that is my little brother was one of them. My little brother's never shown any interest in doing much of anything other than drinking and whoring. All of a sudden, he wakes up one day and he's got the ability to just cast magic at will, as though it were his innate ability that he was born with. The damnedest thing I've ever seen. But now here we are. They upped and took off with him. I haven't seen him once. I will tell you who I did see, though. And that fancy fella that was getting in the car, all in a titty. That's the one that took him. Well, not him directly, but his little bitches.
That makes sense. He seems to be bringing a lot of strife wherever he goes.
Yes, strife indeed. So, we'll start with a bit of information and trust. Do you know his name?
The man in the fancy coat?
Aye.
Christoph Anders.
That seems to check out.
It's the name he's going by these days, at least.
Then Annie will give you a bit of information as well. You're looking for a friend of yours, aren't you?
Feels like you already knew that.
Course I did. Who do you
Yeah.
think these streets belong to?
And do you know where he's at?
Aye,
Did
I
you
could lead you to him. But that's not what I'm going to do. There's a cathedral on the eastern side of town. St. Anne's Cathedral. I believe you have something that'll lead you to him. And she picks up the beer and she does one of those and just drains the whole entire thing and then just sets the glass down. Less foam next time, you get.
Now, I've done a lot of traveling around, and I'm honestly not too familiar with the Rooks. Can you fill me in a little bit on what you guys are about here? It's good to know who I'm making friends with.
Of course. We deal with those things that are a bit too seedy for others to deal with. We keep the streets running the way that they should. Clean up the riffraff that don't need to be here. Make sure that the uppers understand their place in all of it. They think that they stand and tower above us, but the truth of it is, the Rooks can shut down this part of the city and bring them to their knees. It's a lovely thing. They like to look down at us upon their high horses and ivory towers, but the truth of it is that there's labour and there's jobs what need to be done. Most of those pass through the hands of the Rooks.
There's a lot of power in the streets.
Indeed. So, when I say that I'd make a good friend for you, I totally would. But also understand that if I need to make trouble for you, it'll be worse than the Directorate could ever level against you.
So, I know that Christoph, at this, she kind of makes a face, has taken your brother. Do you have any idea of where he might be? Do you have an idea and you are just needing backup, or is this a search?
It's a bit of a search. I believe your friend, our common ally, might have a bit more information about him, but you'll want to get to him. He's laying low for a bit. Like I said, start at St. Anne's, work your way from there. You already have what you need. And she kind of points to like your breast pocket or like the breast pocket of your shirt, you know, indicating like the key that you may have had. You've already got the start of it. I'm sure he'll fill you in along the way.
Did she give us a brother's name?
She did not.
So, what's your brother's name?
Philip.
Philip Hatchet?
Borland.
Barland.
Yep.
Does
No.
he appear to look like you, or is there a close family resemblance, or
Oh, we
is there
look
anything-
nothing alike at all.
if we were to run across him, is there anything that we would know him by, or any code that might help?
Sure. Tell him I sent you looking for him. But not the hatchet part, just the Annie. And he'll know.
Does he know what you do?
Who do you think my right hand was for so long?
It's always good to ask. You have a picture of him?
No. You can't miss him, though. Skin's as tawny brown and smooth as silk. It's like chocolate. She is decidedly not. She is quite the white person.
So, seeing as you very well know the situation we find ourselves in, do you and your rats know a covert way we could spirit off to the cathedral, seeing as there are eyes everywhere these days?
You know, I am so very glad you asked that question of me. I've got a proper transportation waiting outside for you. It'll take you most of the way. You'll have to find the rest of the way through the streets. Probably underneath them.
Hey, a head start is a start.
She just kind of smiles at you, and it is a very alarming look. Like she's going to help you out, but this may not be the best ride of your life. I'm so glad to hear you say that. No, finish your beers, you'll probably need them, and then
Oh.
follow me.
Look to the rest of the party, and are we in agreement? Does this seem to be our best way out of here?
I don't know if it's our best way, but it seems that we have to. Has Sherry left yet, or is she still standing at
No,
the table?
she's sitting at the table still.
Okay, so in Norwegian, Liz would go. I'm not sure if this is our best way, but we need to prove herself to possibly save the brother, and that is what I am concerned about, because magically waking up with powers and being in the director's hands is not a good thing.
And again, in all of the history of magic, none of you have ever heard of somebody waking up with the ability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to go underground?
Hopefully not for too long.
Do you have to go underground? I mean, no. Feel free to walk the streets in broad daylight as you are.
In my eyes, they did Liz and I a service not too long ago. I feel
Guys,
that
if
earns
you-
a bit of trust.
Whether you asked for it or not, trust isn't as easily as helping a passerby.
Has nothing to do with trust.
Guys, if you don't want to travel underground, I can easily travel above ground with you. And I might not have a disguise kit, though I haven't used it on myself in many years.
It's underground. It is.
Perhaps one of you should give him your beer. I'll order you another one.
I don't drink, so more than welcome to mine.
He's going to take a very deep breath, hold it, and then he's going to go through one and then immediately shotgun the other.
Just chug, 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 slam, chug, 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 slam.
And then let that breath out.
Ooh, that was rather impressive.
Should have
Now-
seen we did Knowles.
Shall we get going then?
Aye.
You're simply going to love this. And she stands, walks to the door, takes her hat off of the rack, and takes her stick. Again, it's like the short stick, and she like tucks it under her arm, almost like a riding crop. And she opens the door out into the daylight of the late afternoon. You can see a cart out there, like a carriage, but not a standard carriage. As you step out into the light, your eyes adjusting to the light outside from the gloom inside, you can see on the side of it is written morgue. She just, you hear a little chuckle as she walks around to the back, opens the door, and says, "Your chariot awaits you."
Climb in there, no hesitation.
Nothing I haven't seen
Liz
before.
is very comfortable with horses, but she, like, before she gets in, she just goes, "It's not my bike, but it's now kind of my bike. Can you sort of keep it safe?"
She puts her pinky and thumb in and blows a loud whistle. It draws the attention of a guy who looks like looks like a beggar. But like his face is shaven and he looks a little too clean in the face, but like the rest of him passes. She says, "Take that, make sure you hide it. She'll be coming back for it." He says, "Yes, ma'am," and climbs onto the bike, kicks it over, and then takes off. "It'll be taken care of, promise you."
Liz just smiles and just goes, "Thank you, Annie. I think we will be good friends, and I promise if I see Philip, I will do my best to get him back to you." And with that, she gets into the hearse.
And if we need to contact you for any reason, where's the best place to do that?
Any of the urchins that you see in the streets, just tell them to come find Annie.
Sounds good.
They'll get word.
I'll load up.
It is Emrys. Any
Yeah.
issues climbing in?
You know, I've been running from death for I don't know how many years, but step forward.
It's they're stacked in there. It's not very comfortable, but there's no other bodies in there. But generally nobody stops, the corpse wagon. And you guys feel the wagon lurch and
Bring out your dead.
Yeah.
I'm not quite dead yet.
Now, is this a typical hearse of like what we are thinking of where there are windows inside, or is it like a panel van almost?
It's like a panel van. Yeah, the carriage has there are windows, but they're up high and they're like basically just more like slats. You want to let some of those gases escape out of the vehicle, otherwise. Anyways, the vehicle lurches to a start, and you feel it like the horse leading it, and then it catches up to it. The ride through the streets takes several minutes. You're not sure how long, unless any of you keep track of it. It comes up to be about like a 40-minute meandering ride of lefts and rights and rights and lefts, and finally the wagon comes to a stop. Yep.
At any point did it seem like we made like more than like 3 of one turn. So it didn't seem like it was going in a circle at all.
No, because it would go like, you could tell it would go past several blocks before it would take a right, and then go past several more blocks, and then take a left, and then so it seems to be meandering in the same direction, but it's using lefts and rights after long pauses. There are a couple times where you'd come to a stop and you think that they're going to get out and this is your stop, but then it'll start again. But eventually it does come to a stop and you hear the doors rattling and they are opened. A man dressed in very plain garb, but very professional looking, motions you out. This shall be your stop then. Come on, climb out of the car.
Sure.
You find yourselves standing over a small bridge, overlooking like a tributary to the Thames, like a little channel. You can see a set of stairs that lead down to along the edge of the Thames, or this little channel. Proceed down the stairs. You'll find a door. It should be unlocked for you already. You want to take that, Joe. Follow the route straight ahead. There's markings in there. You're looking for Lamp Street. When you get to Lamp Street, exit through the manhole cover. You'll find your way. It's pretty unremarkable.
I can imagine. We appreciate the help.
Good deal, then. All right, be on your way. Oh, man, he like knocks his earbuds out of his ear. He like dusts himself off and then climbs back towards the front of the cart. The sun is setting really low in the sky. The last vestiges of the day are slipping away. It's already going to be dark in there anyways. But by night it'll be absolute pitch black in there.
Well,
I know two of you at least have dark vision.
pull out a pistol and a flashlight. Head
Whose
down the
hand am I
stairs.
holding?
Click.
Pretty
Doing
much.
this motion.
I also
Alright.
just realized what the name of this episode was. I appreciate that, whoever did it.
That was
would be
Cat.
Cap.
Thanks, Kat. I appreciate your
You're
funniness.
welcome.
Did
I'm so
Emerus
glad.
say out loud that he wanted to hold somebody's hand?
Emmer's just like, well, I can't see in the dark. Whose hand am I holding? Kind of jokingly.
Liz grabs his hand and just goes, "It'll be all right. I promise not to let you bump into anything too big."
Chaos Crew.
I'm
I
here
just
for the
realized-
energy.
I'm gonna go back to Emrys size, and these clothes I'm gonna be swimming in.
Yeah, you're gonna go back now and it's gonna be like
I'm like your
Floppy
friendly
hands.
little toddler. Hi guys.
floppy hands.
I love
Fabric.
it. I love everything about this.
All right. Make
If
your
you
way.
hold the clothes out, you can be a sugar glider.
Quick, throw Emerus off a building. Spread your arms out.
No,
Oh,
I'm getting flashbacks to the bowling ball guy now.
Oh. I forgot about that.
how could you forget about Bowling Ball Man? Him and his army of ducks.
because I'm old and my brain just lets stuff
Softball
go.
pitching bowling balls.
That's right.
Shock
Okay.
throwing them into oblivion.
Well,
Speed pitching.
let's get this over with. Yeah.
I whenever we get down into the sewers, actually,
Mhm.
Gej is going to use light.
Okay. So you cast light.
Yeah.
Now,
All right.
now I don't have to hold Lissandra's hand. Thank you, though.
Liz doesn't let go of your hand unless Emrys like takes it. She's just like, no, it's fine. We'll hold hands.
I just wanna hold your hand.
I'm just like, this is the most like human contact that has not been fighting for me. So you know what? Maybe later. Next time.
Awkward. Emrys is awkward. I have these. I don't know what to do with them. I'm just gonna
Fuse
put
my
these.
fingers together. It's fine.
What are you doing? I'm eating rice.
It's easy to do when you're a changeling.
Anyways.
You can eat
Liz
soup like that too,
drops
as long
the
as it's not
hand.
scalding.
But like makes a mental note to like be like, so to fuck with the Frenchman, all you have to do is touch him. Okay. Just like you can see that mental like note being taken on her
that's
face.
messed up. It's a little
Walks
messed
up to random French person and just touches their hand.
They're just like,
How does this
Say.
make you feel?
Excusez-moi.
c'est moi.
Pardonnez-moi,
Pardon.
mademoiselle. Pourquoi?
Nani?
No, I was just thinking that. Get out of my head. I'm like, it's
Actually, they would just look at you and go, Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Excusez.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Sorry.
Baguette.
Omelette de ma fromage.
Oui,
know?
J'ai
oui.
coupé la fromage.
Bang, bang.
All right.
Oui, bang, bang. Yes. You
Oui,
speak
oui,
with our
bang,
hands.
bang.
Into the tunnel.
And so the service entrance or the service route that is underneath the sewer. So it's not like you're walking and there's like sewage running beside you. This is one of the service tunnels that leads further into it so that you get access to it. Which means that it's mostly dry. I mean, it's a little damp because it's underground and there is liquid that moves through this area. However, the stones are clean of most of the debris. You find yourselves making the twists and turns necessary. You see the sign that says Lamp Street with an arrow pointing to it. You cross over a bridge made of old wood that crosses over. You smell the sewer beneath you as it rolls underneath. You cross over and then cross over another one to the opposite side, and eventually find yourselves at another service tunnel. It ends in a ladder that seems to go up. What's the highest passive perception here? I think it's a 19.
Yeah, 19.
I look at both
19.
the clerics.
Gage. Nope. Actually, you're in an mostly enclosed area.
Not having a
You're in the tunnels again. You have normally the highest passive perception. However, your brain no worky the right way right now. That being said, who has the next highest perception?
Be Liz.
Liz has an 18, and she
18.
is perfectly fine in the tunnels. I mean, she's been at worse in the trenches.
You're unflappable, aren't you?
For the most part, yeah. She's like, I've seen and done with all the things, but like as soon as like every once in a while she'll just get like flashes of like PTSD, but like for the most part she's just like, nope, in the moment I gotta be fine.
Mm-hmm. So you notice two things. One, that you are not alone, that you are being tailed, but it is somebody who is very good at keeping themselves hidden. And number two, that your friend is not looking well at all, does not look himself.
He's very stone-faced. Every small sound has got him twitching in one direction or the other. He's like grabbing at the seams of his jacket, and you see him keep reaching for where his spear would be, but it's not there because they took our weapons. And he's sweating profusely. He's trying to stay in the back as well.
Would I notice this with Gej? With a 16?
Yeah, you would notice Gej. That one's not hard to spot. It's more the person pursuing you.
Mm-hmm.
But you do notice Gej looks off.
Idly, I'm gonna unbuckle my rapier
Mm-hmm.
and just walk up to Gej and slide it into the side of his belt that he's been grasping at.
What are you
Okay.
doing?
Well, you need something, don't you?
Just get out of this tunnel.
We're working on it.
I know.
We have a. Sorry, when you said that the person that was following us wasn't looking good, I was like, oh no, are they undead? I'm like, I can't. I have a thing for this. But if they're just like following us, and Liz would like be slightly concerned about Gej, but knowing how her own like PTSD affects her, and knowing that he will probably be fine as soon as they get out, and he doesn't seem like he's stopped. She's just going to like move past it, but she is going to mention that they are being that they have another friend behind them, probably in German, so that Gej and Emrys are aware, and then she'd probably follow it up in Norwegian, saying like keep your eyes peeled, especially in the back of Gej.
All right. You take a narrow passageway that ends in a ladder. Above you, you can see a very faint light that passes through the holes of the manhole cover. Who is going up first? Gesh scrambles up the stair, up the ladder.
I feel like, Gej, you want to get out of here. You want to check, make sure we're good to go?
Yeah. And
Sooner we're out of here, the better.
He's gonna scramble on up that, probably a little bit more hurried than you're supposed to.
And before he does that, Liz would like be like, "It's gonna be okay." And with that, just a light guidance. Just you're gonna be fine.
He very visibly shies away, and you can actually see him kind of clench a fist and like look at you, and then sigh, and then go back up.
What did you cast light on?
Probably something Emrys was holding. Well, no, that would be dumb. Something you're holding.
Something I'm holding.
Just something on your person.
Just one of the guns.
Like the handle or something. Your thumb.
Ring, maybe.
Thumb. Because you can hide it. If you're fighting, it's out so that you have the light. You're not going to drop your thumb. You can't disarm. I mean, you can have your thumb disarmed, but generally speaking,
We learned that last episode.
right. So whenever I cast light, I always cast it on my thumb of my dominant hand.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we can do that. If you would have been okay with it, because he doesn't need it for himself, he would have put it on somebody that couldn't see.
Oddly enough, do any of your characters smoke?
Nay.
Gej?
Yeah.
When Gej smokes, he probably does this
Mm-hmm.
to hide the ember from enemies.
Yep.
Better. So he smokes.
If Gej asked me, I probably would have put it on like a copper.
Okay, just a copper piece on you.
Yeah.
So you can quickly toss it if you need to, or drop it in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so you cast it basically on like a penny. All right, so Gej, as you get to the top of the ladder, the manhole cover is there. I do need you to give me a strength athletics check, please. It's a good thing you cast guidance on him as he was going up.
That is an 11, a 10 plus 1.
Okay, don't forget you have a D4. Roll a D4 and add that to it.
15 now.
Okay, you get to the top, you push against it. It gives you a little bit of resistance, but eventually you hear that shuffle and scrape and you're able to move the manhole cover out of the way. Immediately, the cool air of the night hits you, and like there is this sudden inhalation as you realize you are out again of the tunnel.
So, still not completely fully, out of it yet. He's gonna look around and see what he sees, so he can be of use to his companions.
All right. You are in what would appear to be an alley, but ahead of you, you can see a large, what you would expect to see, which is a cathedral. It is not, though, like the front facing of it has a small courtyard that you can see a fountain in, and there's a low fence with that's half brick and then half wrought iron that seems to encase the entirety of it. A large iron gate doesn't have any guards on it, but currently it's closed. You can see a bell, like a large bell and a rope that hang there.
Okay. We're in the right place. He's gonna call that back down quietly to his companions.
All right.
I will.
The person that's following us, do they seem like they are a street urchin, or do they seem like they are like a directorate?
You're not sure. They seem to be too skilled, so you're pretty sure whoever it is, they're well trained in the art of skulking about in shadows.
Well, I'm gonna snuff the penny in my hand.
Okay, so you just palm it like you put it in your hand. Okay.
I'm gonna look to my companions and quietly go, do we want to see who it is? Or at least give them something real bright to look at before we leave?
Liz goes, I could be the last one up. I don't mind that.
This is a long stretch before like any corners, or are there any other turns that would be ahead of us? I guess.
You mean in the sewer?
Yeah.
There is. So you were walking along a longer stretch that turned off, and that one was about maybe about 10 meters, so roughly like 33, 34 feet before it hit that ladder to go up. So it's like it's a wide alcove, but it's still like, or it's not an alcove because it's deeper than that, but it's a wide area, but it still like ends at the ladder with no other rounds to go. So the only other option is to go back. So you're kind of in a straightaway with two exits, the one that you came in or the up the ladder.
Say we let them just follow us up and get them up there. I don't know what they can do, what they're going to do down here. Really
I would rather not lead them to our
we don't lead them. We don't lead them there. We go up, we go somewhere else. Our end goal doesn't have to be where we're going. If we want to catch them, we lead them somewhere else. Maybe a little ways off.
Liz just looks at Emerson and is just like, not all of us can be Sarah.
That sounded bitter.
I mean, Liz is a little bitter that she can't hide in a crowd because of what she is. So, like, yes, she is a little bitter about that statement.
Sandra, I don't fit anywhere because of what I can do. If I could easily just blend into a crowd as myself, I would. My face isn't even my own. I don't even know what my true face is. It's not this. It's not the Emrys you know.
I feel like with our current situation, our best bet is heading directly to where we're going. If we can get out of here and drop the manhole cover back where it was, that at least buys us some time to vanish.
Are y'all okay down there?
Yeah, because you're all like down.
Let's
I'm
let's
going
go.
up. Yeah. I'm going up after what I've said.
All right, so Emrys is up, then Moonin, and then Lysandra following last. Lysandra
Lysandra
is
is following last, and she is sort of. She has decided that she is going to pretend to actually go up the ladder, but she's not. So it's going to sound like she's going up the ladder, but she's actually down at the bottom of the stairs.
give me a deception check. Look at me. Oh, you're looking at D&D Beyond. It's funny because your camera must be poised like right over that. Because when I said that, you turned to look at your sheet, but it was like you were looking at me like, what?
My deception is a 6.
Okay, so you do your best to throw off your pursuer and try to climb the ladder, but yet stay at the bottom. With your dark vision, you turn to look to see. You realize the figure is no longer trying to hide as it walks plainly into view. It turns and looks at you, and you catch a glint of its eyes, meaning that you know it can see you in the dark as well as you can see it.
Now, can she, if she looks up the ladder, can she still see her companions?
Yes, but it is not a 10. It's a like 15 feet to the top. As you look at him, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw, but you can make it with advantage.
That dice is going in Dice Joe, but it's still a 16.
You start to climb, but you waited for a moment, and it's like a whisper that moves across a distance, and you hear it in your head, and you heed it. Don't run from me. I'm your friend. Please, come. I wish to speak with you only. Won't you come to me? And you find yourself with your feet plodding over to him. When you get close enough, you can smell this sandalwood clove mix, this wonderful musk, like very earthy but not loamy, but it's just very woodsy smell. And he's handsome. His hair is done perfectly. His ears are slightly pointed. You can see, even though your dark vision doesn't really let you see in shades of color, but you know that the alabaster that you see his skin isn't far off from what the actual color would probably be. He takes his hands and he strokes them through your hair, grasping the back of your head as he looks at you, and he says, "It is a pity. You don't feel as though you fit anywhere." He lets his hand fall.
So Liz is a lesbian to asexual. So, she is uncomfortable with this touch.
Not really. Because you are charmed.
Also,
Is it an elf?
Elf.
She rolled advantage. That's why I said
Oh,
you get to roll
okay.
with advantage.
I thought elf was immune to charm.
Did
Okay,
any
that's
of
fine.
us
sleep?
Did any of us
Magical
see
sleep.
her start climbing and then leave the ladder?
She never really climbed it. She pretended to climb it.
Emrys, I'll be honest, after her comment, he's not really happy with her. So he would have moved away a little bit from the manhole.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
It's been about 30 to 40 seconds. I mean, this happened fast. He just looked at her and said, "Zip."
Yeah, Gej would have been standing over the manhole helping people out, and if it sounded like she was coming up...
Well, here's the thing is, Gej, you don't hear her, you don't see her climbing up, but what you do see is her with her hand on the rung, and she just drops her hand and starts moving away from the ladder. So you do see her moving away.
So as soon as she started moving away, he would have called after her. Just Liz,
You
are you
hear
okay?
you hear the voice, but this is something more. And it's not I understand that it's not a sexually charged thing. It's you regard him as trusted, and you regard him as he needs to be heeded and protected. That this is a boon companion. This is somebody that you would throw yourself upon the sword for.
If there isn't a response from Liz,
Mm-hmm.
Moonin is going to jump back down in.
Okay. Doing the ladder slide where you grab the thing and put your feet on the outside and just slide down to the bottom. Do you still have your coin on you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You take your coin out.
My
and
next
you
action
can
was
see.
to throw the coin in their direction.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. I need to look at something real quick.
Mm-hmm. It's regular light, not daylight.
Yeah, that's what I was double checking, because it's like, I know that this, and it doesn't really. You can see Liz is standing with this handsome man. He has one hand like just poised at her back, and the other hand is like on her shoulder. It's not like around on her back, but it's like around, like hover hands.
Mm-hmm.
The other one though is on her shoulder, and he's just like looking at her and just focused on her. It is a shame. We even hear these people. They act as though they do not want your kind. But with me, you will always have a home, a place that you belong. Isn't that what you want?
Liz just kind of like moves her head side to side, not really answering him because she doesn't really have an answer like what she wants. So
Will you submit to me? I will make you one of my own. I will show you a love that you have never felt before, like no one has ever shown you. I know your heart aches for that you do not have. Moonin,
Yes.
you can hear the conversation. It's faint, but this is stone, so it does echo. You can tell that he has her enthralled. What are you doing?
Say don't shoot if you're not in danger.
You don't feel like you're in any danger.
I don't think I'm in danger per se.
That's just what somebody in danger would say.
If he makes any weird move to her, I'm shooting.
You see him dip his head, but it looks like he's going to kiss her neck. Here's a question. How much does Moonin know about Liz?
So I have not spoken to Otter about this, but in my own headcanon, I feel like they were friends before they got into the Troubleshooters, and they were very close
I've interacted
at one point and are still like very close friends.
Yeah. We've definitely interacted on
Moonin would know
occasions.
that she's a lesbian.
Okay. So
He
Moonin
would know that she is not into men.
That this is not her thing.
Cool.
All right.
Point
Do
click.
you see him leaning?
Bad touch.
No.
All right. Roll to attack.
We're using the fancy weapon.
You're using the appropriately named even the odds?
We are. And just 'cause it's dark, we're gonna do a Deadeye shot.
Mm.
With
Just so you don't miss.
Deadeye sharpshooter. Just, to make sure. Thank goodness for Deadeye. That's a... Hold on. Actually, I have to do math real quick.
Mm-hmm.
With sharpshooter, that's a dirty 20.
Okay, that will definitely hit.
Okay, and this is even the odds, so I have to roll a d4.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1! We do extra things. Okay, hold on. Now there's more math.
Because that means that the elemental thing went off.
So that's a 3, so it does fire damage.
Ooh.
So 7 points of fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then a d8 for the actual pistol. That's...
Remember, it uses the revolver stats that you had before.
Yep.
Okay.
So the fire was 7. The pistol does 18.
Okay. You take aim and fire, taking careful not to hit your friend. As you do, the cacophonous sound echoes around the sewer and up through the manhole, so both of you hear the retort of the gun as it fires. The bullet rips down the tunnel and slams into the side of the creature. He turns and looks at you, and when he does, he goes from being this very handsome man to these feral features, his fangs elongated, his eyes are red, he has wrinkles at them that are like his skin is like folded up into different folds. He snarls at you and throws her to the side. I would like for everyone to roll initiative for me, please.
Hey guys!
You asked me if there was going to be combat. I said, well, no.
So whenever the gunshot goes off, Emrys Gesh just kind of looks at you. He looks so tired. And he goes to start back down the hole. He's just like, help.
All right.
Weapons. I literally have
20
nothing.
or higher.
21.
He hands you the rapier.
I'm sorry. What did you have, Emrys?
25.
25.
8.
Anybody else 20 or higher?
21.
21. Let me make sure I mark that as Emrys.
The alert feat. That's the only reason why.
Good stuff. All right, 15 or higher. No?
15
10
on the dot.
Okay, 15 on the dot for Liz. Okay, and what did you have there? Is that 8?
Yep.
Okay.
Does not want to go back in the hole.
Not really.
That checks out.
Nope.
8 for Gedge. Okay. Emrys, you are first up. You hear the gunshot go off, and you know that your friend has fired his pistol.
Yeah.
Sorry for your ears.
I mean, they're up top, so it doesn't really
Our
hurt
ears
them
are
as bad.
More lists.
I'm pretty sure Liz is like half deaf anyway, considering that, she was in the trenches with everybody.
She's just yelling, "What?"
Huh? Yeah, we'll get her hearing aids next episode. When Gej tries to offer their rapier to Emrys, Emrys kind of like places my hand on the edge of the handle, and I push it back towards him. You're better off going down there than I am right now. I'll be here to help people up when it comes time.
I don't know how to use it anyway.
There's a time to learn for everyone, then.
Not trained in it. You can still use it. You just don't use your proficiency bonus.
There's a stabby side. That side goes into whatever you're stabbing.
Pointy in towards the enemy.
Plus, actually, I know you don't like the tunnels. Never mind.
If there's something up here waiting, I'd prefer you have something in hand. I've got magic. I'm fine. Take it.
Do you want to go back into the tunnels is my question.
No, but I'm going to because those are my friends and you don't leave anyone behind. Options there. You can just shoot if you'd like.
Yeah.
All right, Emrys, what are you doing?
I'll take it, but I'll stay above.
Okay. Moonin.
Well, does Liss still seem out of that after that shot?
He kind of tossed her down on the stones. So you're not sure. He says, this is how we're going to do it.
She's not into men. Bang.
You're not her kind. Pow. And I quote, she has a type and you're not it.
The dad
That's
friend
probably
coming
the last
through. Sorry, you're barking up the wrong tree, bud. Bang, bang.
Sorry, not sorry.
Same thing, sharpshooter, but we're not going to do with advantage. Because I need to save those points just in case. First shot's a lot more than the first one was. That's a 24.
That still hits.
D1. Or, sorry, D4. There's no D1.
It's like, if you're rolling a D1, it always goes off. It's like, wait a minute. Quit
This
shooting.
pistol is great! That was another one, so D8. 7. Psychic damage.
Ooh.
He takes 4 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And 20 of pistol damage.
Big money. All the whammies. Okay.
And then second shot. Same thing,
Alright.
sharpshooter. Ooh, that's a 16.
16
Yes.
just hits.
Woo! Another D4. That's a 3. So
Okay.
no extra damage. D8. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a 6 plus 5 plus 10, so that's 21.
Nice. Down here just owning face with this damn gun. All right. Anything else for you this turn, sir?
Other than yelling, you're not her type? No.
All right. Next up is Liss. As you strike the stone, give me another saving throw, please. Wisdom saving throw. Again, you have advantage.
$24.
As you strike the stone, your head kind of bangs off of it and it kind of knocks you out. You don't take any damage from it, but it just kind of like breaks you free of the charm. Now you see this figure standing before you. This, again, the feral features, the snarling teeth, and everything. You do recognize him for what he is. Un vampire.
Not my type.
Damn.
Now,
Hey,
is
boys,
that my turn, or do I get
No.
or do I get to
No.
go?
Nope, you get to
All
go.
right.
Because anytime you
cast-
would have taken damage or he does something harmful, which throwing you to the stone would have been harmful, you get to make the saving throw. So
I cast daylight. I'm like, fuck this. And I am casting daylight towards the end of the tunnel. So if he wants to, he will have to go through the full 60 feet of daylight if he goes back away from us. He will either have to come toward, like, how long is this tunnel is probably a better question.
that tunnel, I mean, it loops around, but it's like a main thoroughfare because it is the sewer line itself. The one that Moonin's in that ends the ladder is only like 30 feet long. but the one that's outside where you're standing with him or you're there with him, that one runs like miles in either direction.
Oh, okay. Then probably 30 feet so that Moonin would be like the best protected, like so the end of that tunnel, so that it would be so.
Okay, so you're basically casting it at the end of the tunnel. That light's going to shine down 30 feet. So if you cast it right above you, you're going to catch the vampire, protection to the end of the tunnel, and in 60-foot area.
All right, so 30 foot down the other way.
60-foot radius. No, it's 120 feet diameter. So 60 feet in all directions. So if you center it there, he's got to move 60 feet in any direction to get out of it. And there ain't 60 feet other than left or right.
Yeah, so she probably would center on herself then, because it would definitely catch Moonin and everybody else. And I assume that it probably, depending on how the light is actually done, would also like reach atop whatever is the tunnels and just be like, oh, there is more daylight inside this house.
So there's a
spotlight coming out of the ground
as it goes through I don't know if it actually like penetrates the stuff like that, but in here, yeah, it's bright because it's bright light for 60 feet radius, and then an additional 60 feet beyond that is dim light. So there's like 120 feet of light in all direction, though some of it is dim. But yeah, it's pretty baller move. So that's your action, is to go daytime.
I'm sorry, I'm not a victim anymore.
Daytime. Sorry. All right.
Great video.
Thank you. Alan. Oh wait, maybe it's Steve. Steve.
No.
Yes. The good old internet.
Back in the days. All right. That is your action. Anything else you'd like to do?
I guess just look away. So like there's no way that he could charm her again, basically. And she would also call out vampire to anyone who is down here, because I assume she can hear that Moonin is down here, but I don't think she's fully seen him. So she probably also did not see if any of her other allies actually came down. So
okay.
Just vampire, and she would shield her eyes.
All right. She has from down there, as you hit the bottom rung, or you will in a minute. You hear vampire, and then all of a sudden, wow, there's daylight. Everything is illuminated in here. Mr. Bloodsucky. Okay, with that, it is his turn. As he is starting his turn in daylight. I love these guys.
Vampires?
Mm-hmm. Immediately he hisses as his skin starts to sizzle. You watch and he looks at you and says, this isn't over yet. With that, you watch as he turns to a mist form. Nope. He retreats because he can't do that in the mist form. He starts to retreat, and he is going to leave you. He disengages with you and moves his movement speed. And then he is going to... He can do that. Yeah.
So is he out of the range of sunlight, or he's still in the sunlight range?
Actually, he is going to then turn into mist. He is in the sunlight. I was reading that wrong. He can actually do that in the sunlight. He just can't. If he falls to 0 in the sunlight, he couldn't revert to mist and fly away. But he can shape change still. So as he gets to that edge and turns into mist and seems to try to like drift away even further. So he is and then moving away. And that is his turn. He is about 50 feet. He's still inside the light though, so the sunlight, so he is still like not happy about his current situation. All right. And that brings us to Gedge.
Kind of like a kid right before you go down a really big water slide. He stops, he goes back, he stops, goes back, and then he just goes down the ladder. And he's gonna go as far out as he can, close to where Liz is, looking for her to see how he could be.
Okay. As you drop to the bottom and you can see Liz standing at the end of the tunnel. Yeah.
So it is bright light, bright daylight for a 60-foot radius, and then an additional 60 feet there's dim light. So I do not know if
Correct.
that matters or not.
The dim light doesn't. It has to be the direct daylight effect. The dim light doesn't have as much an effect on him. He's still within the daylight. You can see his misty form like swirling off in the distance about 50 feet. All right, so Gedge, you jump down and you can see your ally standing at the end of the tunnel.
Knowing that Moonin can't cast magic.
Oh yeah,
her.
Yeah, I'm sure that Liz looks very pleased with herself at this moment.
Gedge is going to look around for the enemy because he wasn't down here when it turned to mist, so I don't know if he can see it or not.
It will take 15 feet of your movement, and so your movement speed is 30. You don't see it in the immediate vicinity. Moving 15 feet puts you about halfway down the little tunnel way, but you don't seem to see any immediate enemies. Unless you want to take your action to dash.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll move
Using
out.
your all right, as you move out of the tunnel, you can see, looking left and then right, down the right, like as you turn right out of the tunnel, you can see a misty form that seems to be swirling in the edge of almost at the edge of the light.
He'll keep an eye on it, and that's his turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the misty form moves an additional 20 feet using a legendary action that he has. He seems to fly further out. Now he is outside of the primary amount of sunlight, but he's still within the dim light. And with that, we go back up to the top of the round. Emrys. Taking a look around. Okay.
Can't hear you.
Give me a perception check.
Apologies, I didn't realize I was muted. Yes, I'm just looking around up top. 15.
You don't seem to see anything in the rooftops or in the alley around where you are.
Okay. And I can see the light that's coming from.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't need me then.
It's beaming up from that. No, they're fine. They're great.
Light. I think I heard vampires. I'm not needed here.
This is not my fight right now.
Nope. I'm not needed. Then the only other thing I would like to quickly do, the gate for where we are actually heading, is it locked or is it just shut?
From where you're at, you can only tell it's shut.
Okay. That is something for me to check on in a moment or two then. I will let them continue the fight and I will just prep to attack if something besides the people I know are gonna come out of this.
So if anything other than them comes out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That brings us back to Moonin.
We should probably go.
Okay. I mean, there's enough room that you can get around one another if you wanted to try to like skedaddle up the ladder.
I mean, the daylight is there for an hour, so like the vampire doesn't seem like he's going to come close to us, and Liz is not going to be turning this off. So
I have made a lot of noise. We are being searched for. We should probably leave. Glad
Liz
you're
is
safe.
100% with you on the fact that like we should get out of here. I'm just saying the immediate threat is fine.
Yes. He can't. He probably won't come this way. Let's go. And I'm going to scramble up.
I wore the wrong shirt. I need the Beware the Smiling DM shirt today. All right, so you scramble up the ladder. You can see Emra standing there looking vigilant as he keeps a close watch around as to what's going on, which is nothing right now. Anything else on your turn?
That'll do it.
You have fired 3 rounds.
I have a dice here keeping track.
All right, good deal. All right, with that, it is our good friend Lyssa's turn. At the end of Moonin's turn, the mist moves further away.
Liz is just all like, "That's right. This is over for now, fucker," and like goes towards Gej, towards the like tunnel, and like as she passes like Gej, she's going to cast like another guidance on him, just because he came, and just because she's like proud of him, and she's just like, "You came back down to this tunnel for me, bud. Good job." And she's going to go up the ladder. But if like Gej gets there before her, she's going to let Gej go up the ladder first.
Okay. Oh. All right. So with that being said, that is you. You can move to the end of the ladder. Casting guidance would be your action. Mr. Vampira moves further away, and that brings us to Gej. Eventually, he gets out of your line of sight, so taking you all out of combat. All right. You don't seem to see anything on the streets, Emrys. Everything seems oddly quiet.
Seems is such a dirty word.
Without seams, how would you keep your pants together?
I hated him.
Skirts.
I will. I'm gonna.
Skirts don't have a seam?
They don't have pockets, they have seams.
Some of them.
I mean, you can tie them around. Fine, togas then. If you want to be so critical about it, togas.
A serape. Because it's just a wrap that you tie. All right. It's worse with the smile, honestly. Okay. You climb to the top. Everybody gets out. You can see the cathedral across the way. You see a few lights on in the cathedral, and several figures and men in hassocks are gathered at the gates, trying to peer in your area because there's this big ball of light coming out of their sewer, and they also heard this bang from over in that area. So they're looking your way. Nothing to see here. Move along. What are you guys doing? Team.
Gej, once he's gonna be the last one up, and once everyone is up and out, he's immediately gonna move the grate back over it.
Okay.
Or the thingy back over it.
Yeah, the manhole cover.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody's out. You can see across the way at the cathedral that a small group of men have gathered, or men and women.
All in said religious garb?
Yeah.
Cool. I guess we head to the cathedral, and I'll just start walking that way.
All right. Making your way over to it, you can see the doors are shut. One of them walks up to you and says, "My word, what was that? It's a loud bang and lights. Seems like quite the trouble."
Gas
Hopefully,
leak.
Take inspiration. That was great. Oh, it was fantastic. Inspiration.
whew, that's some good stuff.
Sleek. They just kind of look back and forth to one another. The brother in robes that's speaking with you says, "Do you need sanctuary? Do you need some help? Please come off the streets. All are welcome here." And you hear the sound of the gate, the key rattling in the gate, and the doors or the gates being swung open, allowing the four of you entry into the into the grounds. As soon as you enter in, I assume you are going into the grounds.
Do
As
any
soon
of
as you-
these robed fellows seem sketchy?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Perception?
Yep.
12.
Nah, not particularly.
And this
They all
Liz
seem
would know that this is like holy ground, right? Like Liz would know that this church
This
would
is
be holy ground.
consecrated ground. That is correct.
The DM has received a luck point with the title Keep On Smiling.
Thank you so much.
Liz is going to walk onto the grounds, just knowing that even though daylight is there, she would still feel better on, holy ground.
Mhm.
And she'd probably touch her symbol, like under her shirt, and just be like, just like kind of fidgeting with it, but not enough for like it to like come out at all, or really to be like anyone who wasn't paying attention wouldn't notice it. But
The one that spoke to you originally says, "All are welcome here, regardless of their faith."
But she does seem a little bit rattled by the encounter, even though that she did just light that shit up. She's just like, nope, we're going on holy ground, and we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. The encounter is over now. Now we can panic. We're fine, but not really.
Please follow me. We'll get you inside. We have some chambers where we can find you a place to sleep, if that is what you need.
Would you perhaps have a change of clothing? These aren't my own.
He looks at what they're all wearing. It's more monastic, but
Monk robes for Emrys.
Unless you have some cloth I can fashion something into, or at least hopefully sew this down.
I mean, it's basically like it's not monk robes. It's like a long white hassock with none of them are wearing the actual like sashes or the banners.
Yeah, no,
but it's like
fine.
a long white hassock and that. So yeah, they can.
If they say
absolutely.
they just have like the clothing that more along the lines of like the clothing that they all have that kind of match amongst them, then I'd say no.
They say they can work on something.
And I'm very willing to help, even if it's just taking in these clothing.
Okay.
Liz would then look over and go, I know you're still angry at me, but I'm happy to take in this clothing. It might help. It might help me.
I can handle it, Lysandra, thank you.
Ooh, use that full name.
Always has.
Oh, yeah, you do, don't you?
Yeah.
Always calls her Lysandra. All right. You are taken in and you are given a meal. It's basically like a warm soup with some vegetables and a bit of chicken. And you are given a bed to stay. It's like a almost like a barracks type thing, or like it's not an individual room. It's like a big sleeping area. You can see that it's used probably for, like, say, the homeless, or to provide shelter to those who need it. Given what you know about the war, the churches and holy places were preserved. With that in mind, they probably use these as shelters for those who are found themselves in unfortunate circumstances, and so they still have these as a turnover for that. As you're all gathered in there, you can see several. There's a few men, but there's more women dressed in habits as they move about to get you ready for the evening. A grizzled-looking man in a cassock walks up to you. It's a long. The shirt itself, it hangs a little bit loose on him. It's a button, and then he has legs. His pants, his trousers. There's like a longer cassock skirt part that's around those. He has like a wizened old face with stubble on there that sinks into the crevices and the crags of his face. He asks you, his mouth chewing a bit. You were the ones what set those things ablaze out there. Was that your doing?
Gas leak.
Ah, well, a gas leak. I say. Wasn't any trouble down in the sewers, was there? You don't look much like a sewer worker.
Roll a sense motive on this man, if that's okay.
Please do. JT, I read that with everyone is dressed in hobbits as though they're using hobbits as their clothing. So these pants are made from Bilbo and Frodo. This jacket's a Samwise.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
How many hobbits does it take to make a hobbit outfit?
For a regular sized medium creature.
At least the party going to Mordor. It's It is 8 plus 7, so 15.
Something seems like his eyes are a little brighter, or there's something about him though that doesn't fit quite right. Lost souls found themselves under the waters, did you? Under the streets, running from things, were you?
Not running, no.
Oh. Oh, that's good. You're safe here. And he kind of like pats you on the arm. Yes. it's a solid, pat.
Away from it.
What's your name?
Gej.
Pleasures to meet you, Gesh. The pretty one. What's your name? And he nods to Lysandra. My name is Hollandaise Sauce.
How long has it been? Because she might still be like kind of like dissociating and like not really like there.
It's been several many minutes. Not an hour, but it's been,
She is probably still not really there. Like she is aware enough of like where like Moonin is and like the rest of her companions, but like if anyone's like really talking to her, they would have to like really try to get her attention to like have her answer. So she just seems to be staring off at the nuns and just like fidgeting with the like necklace that she has on.
Are you all right, dear? And you feel a hand like here on your arm. It's it's firm like a strong hand, but it's a gentle touch. And you hear him muttering some words. The party members around you hear him muttering some words, and he grabs the necklace at his neck. And when he finishes, this revitalizing warmth spreads from your elbow. Not a healing spell, but something more. You feel restored as he casts greater restoration on you.
I don't know if, like, depending on the reaction time of it, she would, like, if anyone probably had touched her, she probably would have, like, with her reaction, probably would have tried to, like, slug him. So I don't know if that is what we want to happen, or
it takes a few seconds to cast because it's an action, so it's boom, just like that.
So either the cast takes effect, which I will allow to happen, or she goes to slug him. Just in,
I
like,
mean, you
reflex.
can still say that the spell goes off, and your reaction is to try to slug him.
Yeah, we'll do that because she's just, and then once it goes off, she'll apologize if she actually hits it.
Clock the clergy. All right, roll to attack.
It's the name of Money Pop Punk Band.
Clock the clergy.
It is a 15 on the die. I don't know if it adds anything to that or not.
You go to slug him, and he kind of duck moves, and you feel like you made contact with him, but you feel like you may not have made contact with him, like you just were over here, but he definitely says "Hoo!" And you do. What's your strength modifier?
My strength modifier is a +0.
Okay, so yeah, you like pop him, and you can see he brushes his head. Oh, that was a good shot.
After that, she'd go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I just thank you.
It's no harm done."
And she seems to be more of herself, and she's like, I'm so sorry. Just instincts,
I understand completely. And what's your name? And he looks at Emrys, who is now wearing different clothing.
You can call me Theon for now.
Theon. It's nice to meet your acquaintance.
Of course.
And then he smiles at Moonin, who is still bristling with weaponry.
I mean, the pistols are way under the coat. All he's going to really see is the rifle.
The rifle? It's true. A man walks into a church carrying a rifle. Normally, that would give me pause for concern. But... yeah, he punch in the mouth. He's like, all right, that's what your name is. Punch me in the face. What's your name, young man?
You can call me Moonin.
Moonin. It's nice to make your acquaintance. My name is Father Aloysius.
Father what?
Aloysius.
Okay.
Yes?
Just making sure I heard you right.
So now that Liz is actually like aware and looking around, do any of these like holy symbols seem like anything that she might know?
I mean, yeah, you do know the holy symbol of this one. This is one of the Catholic churches. It follows the religious practice of man. So, Actually, no, it is not Catholic. It is Lutheran. Sorry. It is a Lutheran church. Sorry. Father, what? No, Aloysius, not what.
The accent
I-
definitely got me the first time you said it, and I was just like, wait.
Where?
I'm glad.
It's Father, all your wishes. What ages? We're happy to have you and to help keep you as long as you need aid here in our church. You seem to run on a bit of rough time. Please, then may you find respite here and rest your weary souls. If any of you, and he motions to your holy symbols, if any of you would like prayer or counsel, all are welcome, and there's no judgment. You pray and worship as you feel right, but know that we are here for you if you need.
Thank you for your hospitality, Father.
Certainly. And he sort of shuffles his way away.
Like, Gej has been giving him this semi-hard stare the whole time he's been here.
Yeah. Again, like I said, you noticed there was something a bit off about him. Like he's not something not quite right.
One
And
thing
again,
that doesn't belong here.
and when you went to punch him, you swear you hit like your blow glanced off his head, but you actually connected with something. But as you ponder that and take a long rest, restoring anything that you have spent in this last little thing, we're going to take a break. We'll come back at the top of the hour. Stretch our legs, refill our drinks, all that jazz, and then we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Troubleshooters will be back in about 10 or less minutes. We'll see you all. Keep watching. Tell your friends. Welcome back, everyone. All right. The night passes uneventfully, and you find yourselves waking the next morning. The church is in full swing as people are moving about their daily business. One of the ladies comes up to you and she says, "If you're going to be here, you'll have to pull your weight. Nothing major, but if you have a skill you can ply or a trade, any help will be much appreciated. Of course, if you have no usable skills or discernible usefulness," and she looks decidedly at Moonin, "donations are always welcome."
I come from a family of tinkerers. If there's any assistance I can provide, let me know.
Yeah, as soon as Liz would have woken up, considering that she sleeps less than everybody else, she would have tried to have gone to one of the nuns and been like, "Hey, where can I help?" And if they had asked her what her skills were, she would list off, she's sewing and she is technically a healer. So she would list those skills, but if not, she would just literally do whatever the nuns wanted her to do at this
I
moment.
mean, they were all asleep whenever you woke up, so you'd have to wait. This is like the first interaction because they
Shaking
are
a
all
nun awake. What can I do to help?
human. Wake up! I want to assist you. You can assist me by going the fuck back to sleep.
Skyrim vibes. Just walk into someone's house. Here's your quest. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Give me my stuff.
I needs it.
All right, so they do put you at some menial tasks here and there to help repairing some of the clothing or actually repairing some of the doors and locks and things like that. Just making maintenance and light handiwork. Father Aloysius finds you, Moonin. He finds, no, I'm sorry, Gej. Gej, he finds you. He kind of rocks on his feet. He has his hands stuck in his pockets. Your allies and you made quite an appearance last night. Seems as though, none. No apologies needed. As I've said, all are welcome here. So, what was it that you found yourself on the run from?
If you really must know, it was really my fault. I was a clay kicker, and we were supposed to go. I honestly don't remember. Yesterday was a lot of a blur. All of the noise and everything was my fault. It wasn't really a gas explosion. It was my fault. Confined areas don't.
As much.
Yeah.
I had suspected that gas was not the problem therein. I am thankful that you have decided to deem me worthy of telling me the truth. You looked haunted when I saw you. Have you seen the yards, the grounds? Perhaps you should take a walk there.
Oh well, after I finish choring, gotta be useful,
Of course. With my blessing. Please. Take a stroll around around the grounds. There's some of the older outbuildings that are mausoleums. Large ones, not the small ones. They're beautifully decorated within. He winks at you. Suggest you try and look through some of them. See the history of this place. And he winks at you as he turns and walks, tucking his hands into his pockets and whistling.
Can I do another sense motive?
You can. Sense motive. You playing Pathfinder over there? Are you playing 3.5? You
Yeah,
need insight?
look, I DM Pathfinder on Saturdays. I'm sorry.
As soon as you said that, I was like, that's some 3.5 Pathfinder stuff right there.
It still
It's so hard.
translates.
I want to see what he's up to.
Was Liz close enough to have heard the mausoleum?
No, you guys are all like in different parts.
21. 14 plus 7.
He is. You get from the way that his words are spoken, there's no malice. It was more of like he's wanting you to check something out. There's something that he wants you to see without saying it
Yeah.
overtly.
I'm gonna look for one of my friends. Because I don't.
Okay. I don't want to go alone. I'm in danger.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And it's just Liz. Take this. It's dangerous to go alone.
Take Liz. Yeah.
All right. Do you find Liz, or which one of your friends do you want to find?
Whichever one I come across first, honestly.
Roll a d4.
3.
We'll say that was Moonin. Moonin.
That's me.
Oh no, we're leaving the troublemakers by themselves.
It had to happen eventually. In a cathedral is probably the most entertaining place it could happen.
Safe to say that Emrys is off on his own, probably helping in the kitchen, so it's fine. They're not together.
Yes, you find Moonin working alongside a rather large machine. It is an old print press type machine, and you see that he is working alongside it, just doing some simple repairs to it.
Hey, Moonin, are you awful busy?
I'm almost done. What's up?
I've been given grace to go to the gardens and heavily suggested to check out the mausoleums there. And I was wondering if perhaps you'd also like to accompany.
Sure. Let me finish up here and we can head that way.
Of course.
Gotta be useful and all.
I think I should try to find the other two.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Something about Father Aloysius doesn't sit right. Could be paranoid. I don't know. I'll go find the others.
You easily find Emrys, who is currently busying in the kitchen, getting several pointers and tips from a gaggle of ladies around him that are like, "You've gone and oversalted it. No, you don't know. It's not oversalted. It's just fine. Listen, I've been cooking in this kitchen for years." And that face that Q has right now is the same one that Emrys has. As they've completely they're all gathered around this stock pot. And he's standing there with just stirring while all of them are talking back and forth. And eventually they're like, "Fow!" One of them throws her hands up and wanders away to clean this chicken. And another one is like working over doing something else. They're just, there's one of them left at his shoulder. When you finally are able to get a word in edgewise.
Put a potato in for the salt. Emrys, would you mind accompanying me for a walk?
Yes, gladly. Thank you.
Did you hear him? He said
Ladies.
put a potato in for the salt. Like we don't know what we're doing. Did you put a potato in?
Ladies, you're all doing great. Yes, quickly.
Right.
Thank you.
Margaret, potato. You grab a potato, Helen. Anyways, they start talking back and forth again. From somewhere as you guys are walking away. Someone's gotten into the cooking sherry again.
I bet it was Betty.
All right. So you fill Emerus in on the plan.
Mm-hmm.
At last you finally find Liz. There is a pile of clothing on one side and a pile of clothing on the other side. And she is literally mending small tears or putting patches in knees. You are the only one in this room. They were like, I guess this, and they just kind of left you in there.
Unless you got a minute to take a break.
Liz looks at both of her piles and she goes, Nate, what sort of break? Have I eaten today?
Yeah, you need a break. Come on.
She puts whatever she was working on the chair that she was like sitting. Actually, she was probably sitting on the floor with like both piles like right next to her, and she's just like, "Nope, I'm fine." And so yeah, there's like bits of scrap around where she's using for patches, and then there's like one pile that is like very clearly like done and like nicely folded, and then the rest is like just a mishmash pile, and there's just like scraps for like patches, and like there's thread everywhere, and you're like, how did you even get this much thread?
She's like picking apart one piece of clothing and she's just using the thread from it. All right.
He also would have told you guys that he said the story. He told you guys that he said it was his fault that everything went explodey, and blamed it on his PTSD. That way, we didn't actually have to tell the story of why we were down there to somebody completely random that he doesn't trust in general. So.
Right.
And then we can meet up with Moonin.
We just lost Vixen. In voice.
Yeah. One moment, please.
Hold.
How about that Captain America and the Winter Soldier?
I've not done it yet.
Haven't
Okay.
seen it.
Telling you. Good shit.
I plan on watching it. I'm halfway through WandaVision. I've been watching it in between calls at work.
I was like, what's taking you so long?
I watch it at work. I play Destiny at home.
The Nevers on HBO Max, if you haven't seen it, is wonderful.
You're the second person to recommend that to me.
It's good. I've enjoyed it.
Has anyone seen the new Mortal Kombat?
Not yet, but I have seen it's on the site that I used to watch.
It's fun. Like, so many people are giving it hate, but I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
I always feel like I watch a Mortal Kombat movie, and by the end of it, I'm just underwhelmed. I don't know what it is, but I love Mortal Kombat movies, but by the end of it, I'm just not satisfied enough. I don't know.
Not enough fatalities going on.
I think the end of this one was. I'm not gonna say anything. I'll let you watch it.
Okay.
But I enjoyed the movie. The movie.
I thought it was a lot of fun, and I mean,
it was a lot of fun.
People's main complaint is it's like with all video game adaptation movies, it's hammy, but like if you look at Mortal Kombat's kind of hammy. If if you get really down to it, but I think it's lovely.
Yes, Nevers is one that you definitely should watch, though. This vessel appeared in the sky and nobody knows where it came from, and it started to burn up in the atmosphere. And as it did, these little motes of whatever embedded themselves in people, mostly women, like primarily women. It happened to a few men, but mostly women. And it gave them what they call turns or abilities. There's one that can summon fire and throw it. There's another one that like she sees into the like just little ripples of future and events and things like that. Another one can basically is a technomancer. She can see energies in the world and how to adapt them and use them to make things, and she's an inventor. It's really, really good.
I'm going to have to look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds
it's good.
interesting.
It's only like 3 episodes or 4 episodes in. It's not very, I mean, no, actually, I think this is just the 3rd episode, but like each episode's an hour long, like an hour and a couple minutes long. So like by the time you get through it, you're like, oh, that just happened at the first of this. Oh, okay.
Okay.
But it is set in London in like late 1800s, I want to say. Sorry.
So turn of the century.
Yeah. Turn of
Pre-war.
the century. Definitely very adult material in some of it. So, but
the
if that
camera that watches me cannot see what I'm watching.
very much so, because there are moments of disrobement and activities as such.
I can hear the nudity.
I can hear the nudity from here. Well,
yes, JT.
we're gonna.
If you watch it,
hey, she's back.
Hey, sorry about that.
No worries, it happens.
So as you make your way around through the gardens, having gathered all of your allies, the gardens truly are beautiful. They're well tended. You can see actually several people are working in the gardens to keep them that way as well. And you can see at the edges of the garden area rather large buildings, these stone buildings, almost monoliths to honor the dead. As you walk up towards them, you can see that they have doors on them that are all currently closed. They're metal doors embossed with beautiful paintings, or not paintings, but beautiful etchings on them, depicting all sorts of manner of nature, trees, and other and biblical scenes as well. But there are 4 of them. There's one on each corner, and then one next to it, and then there's like empty space in the yard between them.
Liz would be very excited to see the mausoleums. Almost as excited as she is to see a bakery, but not quite.
Yeah, hopefully you're not eating anything in the mausoleum.
Dead people tea.
Thank you, Caduceus.
I mean, I might make paint out of it, but that's a whole nother story.
Make some dice out of knuckle bones. All right, so we'll call it 1, 2, 3, 4, east or west to east. Which one do you want to start at?
Rolling a die.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Number 3.
Moving to the number 3 door. This door has a simple handle on it that it just pushed down. Doesn't seem to be locked in any way.
I completely forgot. Before we continue for a second, I would have read that note that came with the key.
Okay. You finally open it up.
I would have done it like at night once we all like settled to sleep kind of thing. I was like, who has that? And then I was like, it's me. Sorry.
All right. As you open the note, expecting some long written diatribe or a message or anything like that would lead you to see anything. It simply has Severs, Severs, comma, M, and then it has a date of 1878. M. Severs, 1878. Or Severs M, 1878. You open it up, but it's a pop-up book. It's a magic mouth message. Hey, thanks for reading.
To be honest, I was waiting for it to like yell at me.
You know, it's
Okay.
Colm. It would not have surprised us.
That's what. Yeah. Okay. Well, looking at the mausoleums, I guess now. Name on this one, if there is one.
Actually, the way it works is there are excuse me. There are multiple entombments within the mausoleum.
Okay. So I would have shown everyone the page once everyone was awake, kind of gathered everyone up so I can tell them all at the same time, kind of thing.
Now the paper makes more sense as you're looking through
Yeah.
this. As you see the dates and names, the names and birth and end dates of people inside the mausoleum. Looking through here, you can see that this one seems to be ordered almost in an alphabetical sort of sense. All of the ones in here just so happens because somebody rolled a 3. You actually found,
Hey,
with a quick look through here, because like I would have had you go 1, 2, 3, 4. As you were looking through here, though, you can see that this one has relatively the letters that you're looking for. You can see looking through there. Give me an investigation check.
All of us?
No, just one of you.
Okay. Who wants to do it?
And remember, if you're trained, you can assist one another, and you also have guidance.
Ooh,
Somebody
no,
casting.
definitely
I have
not.
a +3. That's what I got.
You have a +3?
That's what I got. If somebody has higher, then
you
Plus
got
one.
this, Gesh.
oh boy.
Would have cast guidance on whoever though.
Okay.
17 plus 3.
So a total of 20 plus a D4.
Well, my D4 just went on the floor. Hold
I
on.
would definitely pick that up.
Yes, no, I don't want to step on it with my bare feet. So 20,
Or your human feet.
how'd you know that I was disguised?
You are the tiny bear.
23.
All right, 23. Looking through here, there is an M Severs, and then there is another M or Severs M. There are 2 of them. One of them has a date of 18. It's like 1804 to 1857, and then the other one has a date of 1810 to 1868.
Does the second one match the date?
We're looking for 1878.
I thought so. Is there another MC?
Nope, just those 2. You said you rolled a 23, though.
Mm-hmm.
The second one seems to have something strange about the plate.
I would like to take a closer look-see at that, if that's all right.
Sure.
I'm gonna stop making skill checks. What do you want from me?
You looking at the plate, you can see that it looks like there's a small, almost imperceptible crease in the center of it. Like it can be moved in some way.
So he's gonna reach up with a fingernail and try to pull on it.
And that one half of it, the first half of it, seems to move. You pop it, and it swings open. And you can see, you know how whenever you, like, when you stamp something, it creates the indentation on the other side of it. So the 10 is indented enough, and when you flip it over, the 1 covers over where the 6 would be. The one from the 1810 covers over where the 6 would be. And then on that side of the plate, you notice that there's like a groove. So it looks like you can move something, like slide the rest of the plate over.
So we're gonna try that gently.
So it folds over, and then you move it over a little bit. It slides pretty easily. It's not too tough. As you slide it over, you can see a keyhole in there. You have the key?
No, I don't. I was just looking at Emrys because he has no idea about locks. This is your area of expertise.
An expert, but don't mind if I do. No, I'm kidding.
Move! I got
Oh,
this.
oh,
But the cane
Canon.
expert.
That's canon. Just excited about locked doors.
Ooh, a lock! Ooh!
Yes. Tools are key. Do I want to challenge? No.
Do I want to make this irreparable where I can never open it, or do I want to use the key?
Well, I guess the key it is. I would do it slow enough just because always cautious opening hidden locks because some people be tricky. Just in case traps, pretty much.
Okay. You turn the lock, and it turns in place, and there's a clear, like, clink when the lock falls into the right way.
Okay.
And it opens, not like it doesn't swing open. You realize, though, that you can pull it out. Like it's almost like a drawer.
All right.
All right.
Slowly
It's
but
not,
surely.
yeah, it's not very deep. It's about that deep, about that wide, so it's a small area. And it pulls out, and inside you see yet another folded piece of paper and a satchel full of, when you like kind of move it, it clinks like it's full of coin.
Interesting. Okay. I will. I'm not being stealthy about putting the coin in a spot on my persons. And then I will take the note and look at it.
Okay. You take the note and look at it, and it says, "Sorry, friends. One more go. But you're almost there. I'm sorry I had to hide. I hope you understand. We'll get to the bottom of this. I hope to see you soon. Your next stop is much like the ferryman. You'll have to pay for your ride across the river. Luckily, I've provided you with coin. I'm glad you met Annie. She is dear. Speak to her about who the ferryman is. Good luck, and I'll see you soon." And it's just signed Colm.
All right. Well, we have our next step. I'll fold up the note and I'll.
And you close it and put it all back.
I put everything back to normal. I keep the key.
Yep.
Nothing if I like to collect idle things.
This is a key from our adventure that time when we were waiting for Colm, and he
I
has sent
still
us
have
on
those
a
vampire teeth.
he sent us on a chase throughout all of London. Good times. All right.
Do you think that we should burn the letters that Colm was given us just in case we get captured again? They won't have any way to find him.
That's true.
I mean, I don't think anyone's fucking with Annie.
Mine's empty.
But
If they
You know
want
that-
us bad enough, doesn't matter that Annie's part of the picture.
and Christoph is a very powerful individual, and Annie might not be able to hold up to him. I think better safe than sorry, if that's all right with you, Emrys.
We know what we're looking for. Gaj was right. I don't need to keep the paper. Yeah. I'll light it up.
All right. Second here. So you guys light up the paper, taking it and burning out the evidence, and see to it that hopefully no one will be able to track you down, at least not through those notes if you get captured, or at least track Colm down. Where to now?
Do we see any urchins on the street?
You were in a garden, so no. Or you're in a mausoleum, so no.
Some of these may have been urchins at some point, but
Oh, that's sad. You know they don't get buried in mausoleums. They get thrown in paupers' graves. Sorry, is that a little too real? Is that a little too...
That's what the River Thames was for. What are you talking about?
The River Thames was not for that.
Sure, it wasn't.
well, if we head to the front of the church, could we see any urchins out and about in the streets?
Heading out towards that direction, you absolutely do see them. Give me 1 second here. Yes, you absolutely can see several, not several, you can see a few urchins that are moving in and around the area.
Do we see any directorate? Or do I see any directorate? That would be a better way to phrase that.
Yeah, perception check, please.
We're gonna roll this giant dice. Not bad. 18.
No, you do not. And the few urchins you see are definitely like hiding away from the area.
Can I whistle to get one's attention?
Absolutely, you can. So you whistle to grab one of their attention. He comes like rolling over, but he has his hands tucked in his pockets, and you can see him like looking left and right. Yeah, a fine day. Yeah,
Fine day.
fine day, isn't it? Yeah. You got some work for me there, sir?
I do. We need to speak with Annie.
With Annie? Right. Do you have a bit of coin for me there, Lord? I'm sure I can find her, but it'd go a long way to helping out a fellow, street boy, if you will.
I'll palm him a gold.
He takes your coin from you. Oh, that's lovely. Right. I'll get word to her right away, sir. will I find you here?
Yes.
Marvelous. And he tips an imaginary hat at you and kind of skips away from you.
And I will head back inside.
Excellent.
Uh,
And as you await Annie's message return from you, or a return message to you, Gej, Father Aloysius seems to make his way over to you one last time.
He's in the garden admiring all of the plants because, he's
I
tending.
told you. Told you the garden was beautiful. Hopefully you found it inspiring and a path set before your feet.
It did. It was very helpful, Father Aloysius.
That is marvelous to hear. If ever you need guidance again, please, I would pray you find me.
Between you, me, and these calla lilies here, who are you?
Let's just say a friend. Perhaps we'll see each other again in other pastures. As he turns and he walks away from you, he kind of holds a hand up so you can see him over the shoulder, and he says, perhaps over the river, as he seems to walk into the church. And with that cryptic message and you guys waiting for Annie's response, that is where we're going to call tonight's session of the Troubleshooters. Thank you to my beautiful cast, Otter and Vixen and Voodoo and Q, and I am your DM, Cap, aka Heath. We will be back next Monday, and then also we will have tomorrow night is Scion with DM Jason, and then Thursday is back to A Knight's Ransom, and then we're going to stretch. There was some talk of gaming on Wednesday night, but honestly, I've got another video that I do on that day for Lucky Dice Cafe, and by the time I drive all the way out there and all the way back, it's just really late for me to try to get that done. However, that being said, I may not be on there, but I encourage any of the community who wants to get together with any of the players or anything else like that to get together and do something. Let us know you guys want to join in and play a game or anything else like that. Join the Discord, get something together, talk to one of the production manager or one of our stream managers, which talk to Otter or talk to Q, and you guys set something up. I'd love to see it. I'd love for you guys to get involved. And if I can join in, I'll be there. In the meantime, thank you all so much for your support and love. Thank you to Just Enough Wrong and JT and Raymond and Decca and everybody out there. Have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Until next Monday. Bye.